Remember when you were a kid, and your parents bought something that came in a really big box, but all you cared about was playing in that box? Well, SpongeBob and Patrick do too, which is where the Idiot Box comes in.
This episode opens up with SpongeBob and Patrick receiving a huge TV. Much to Squidward's surprise, though, they proceed to throw it away and just play in the box.
Pretty smart, huh?
I thought it wouldn't work.
The reason why they wanted the box in the first place is because they use it as a ritual place to exercise their
imagination.
Squidward at first doesn't believe it, but his curiosity is piqued when he starts to hear noises come from the box.
Will you two shut up?
Despite this, SpongeBob and Patrick have no idea what Squidward means when he asks about the noises. He tries to figure it out for himself by using a box of his own, but it doesn't work. Fed up, he joins SpongeBob and Patrick in hopes of finding out what it all means.
Waiting and watching? That's not what the box is about. It's about imagination.
All right, fine. Take me to Robot Pirate Island. I want to arm wrestle with cowboys on the moon.
Now that sounds like a video game I'd buy.
It still doesn't work, though, so Squidward decides to investigate for himself.
Hello, what's this?
Dear pesky plumbers, the Koopalings and I...
No! We are not doing that joke! Squidward searches the box for answers, but still gets nothing. That is, until...
I mean, do I really believe that if I sit here and pretend to drive a race car, that I'm suddenly gonna start hearing noises? What the... It actually works?
So Squidward learns the magic of imagination, unaware that he's being taken to the dump. But hey, you learn the value of imagination, and then the episode ends in a really bad pun.
I hope he's not too down in the dumps today.
Why? Why?
This episode was highly creative, what with the imagination noises, but one of the real highlights comes from Squidward and his reactions to SpongeBob and Patrick's imaginations. Seeing him absolutely perplexed by it makes for some pretty funny scenes. But I'm confused. How could he hear SpongeBob and Patrick's imaginations?
It was so strong that nothing could stop them from entering the world outside of the imaginary plane.
What does that mean?
It means, dude, don't question the sponge. This episode had a huge impact on me, as it inspired me greatly to exercise my imagination in big ways, and I probably wouldn't be as interested about being creative as I am today without it. This episode was always destined to go down as a classic.
The highlight of the episode is the police chase fantasy.
Look, officer, everything's okay. I won't do it again. You'll never take me alive, coppers! No, Johnny, don't do it!
Whoopee! Another box!
One of the best qualities of a show is immersion. You'll always know if a show is good if it can get you immersed and make you believe that this is all really happening. With Krusty Krab training video, the show goes for the jugular and gives us the instructional video explaining how to work at the Krusty Krab.
There's really not much to say about this episode, but one thing we should definitely mention is that this episode does a brilliant job of mocking the stereotypical instructional video. It shows the good worker in relation to the bad worker, gives history behind the establishment, shows all the necessary steps in the work shift, and so on. It even goes so far as to have a well-spoken narrator.
All of this modernization seems a little overwhelming, doesn't it? Well, luckily for you, Mr. Krabs' fear of robot overlords keeps the balance of technology in check.
As stated with Clams, when the series wanted to satirize something, it did so very well. It did a good job at being both a parody and a fan service episode. We as kids believed even more that these characters and environments were real, immersing us even further in the magic of the show. And even though we're older, thinking that way while watching this episode still makes it all the more fun, and captures that warm feeling we felt in us when we were young.
Wow, that was beautiful.
The highlight of this episode has to be when Patrick comes in and makes Squidward's job a bit harder.
Squidward, your ceiling is talking to me!
Are you gonna order something or just make friends with the paneling?
I'll have an,
Wow, what a great episode. Hey, you know what this episode reminds me of?
What?
Boat Smarts.
What?
You know, that 5th season short that took place at boating school and completely ripped off this episode, except, you know, instead of focusing on being funny, it just turned it into a Squidward torture porn?
Wheelie, transition to the next number.
Okay.
You son of a bitch, I'll kill you! I'll kill
Every show needs a Christmas special, and the SpongeBob Christmas special really delivered.
Christmas Who opens up with Patchy, the president of the SpongeBob fan club, reading a fan letter. He dodges the question and instead decides to tell the story of when Bikini Bottom first learned about Christmas.
It shows SpongeBob about to surprise attack Sandy, but he then tries to save her when he thinks her tree is on fire.
Stand back, Sandy! Fire!
Don't they have lights in Bikini Bottom? He should know what those look like.
Ain't you never seen a Christmas tree before?
Christmas who?
He said it! He said it!
Sandy tells SpongeBob all about
Christmas.
and he subsequently tells his friends about it too.
You can write a letter to this guy, Santa Claus, and tell him what you want, and when he comes, he brings it to you.
Just like a genie!
And an internet meme was born.
SpongeBob instructs everyone to write a letter to Santa, but Squidward remains skeptical of SpongeBob's claims. But he still tries to convince Squidward to go with it. This all continues in probably one of the best musical numbers in a cartoon ever. But we'll get to that later.
Squidward still refuses to conform as Christmas Day comes.
Come on, everybody! Let's sing till Santa gets here!
Oh, this is not going to end well.
Sure enough, Santa never comes, killing the mood and making SpongeBob really depressed. At first, Squidward relishes in his misery.
Aww, our first Christmas.
Jeez, how vindictive can you get?
Squidward realizes the error of his ways when he sees that SpongeBob made him a gift so he wouldn't feel bad when everyone else got one. Racked with guilt, he decides to pretend to be Santa so SpongeBob will feel better, resulting in this heartwarming scene.
Thank you for bringing Christmas to Bikini Bottom.
I didn't bring Christmas to Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob. You did.
It works great, but it starts to backfire for Squidward when everyone thinks that he's the real Santa and starts asking for gifts. Squidward obliges and ends up with nothing else. Except for one thing.
Huh? What's this?
Dear Squidward, thanks for all your help. You've been a real good boy this year. Warm regards, Santa Claus.
What we like so much about this episode is not just that it's funny, but also that it shows the true spirit of Christmas.
As in, gimme shit!
No, not that. Christmas isn't about shopping, decorating, or even... No, we're getting there. It's about being with others and making them feel happy.
That message here is portrayed very well in this episode, and it can be learned and enjoyed very good by adults and kids alike. It goes to show how truly powerful this episode really is when it can do something like that for two different audiences.
And since you stuck with us this whole way, we might as well give you the highlight, which is the song.
It's shaping up to be a wonderful holiday, not your normal average everyday.
Sounds like someone felled my old coral tree. SpongeBob, Patrick, why'd you do this to me?
The world feels like it's in Loverly.
Go away before I harm you bodily.
This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me. There'll be shopping, decorating, and plenty of snow. There's a mistletoe because that I...
What? Who, me? Would you look at the time I should go?
People seem a little more brotherly. Here's a special something to you from me.
Even all the trash on Christmas, it smells so sweetly. This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me.
What do you want? Can't you see that I'm busy?
Step outside, we've got something for you to see.
SpongeBob, take this stuff down immediately.
chestnuts roasting and burns in the 3rd degree.
Tonight things are as good as they seem to be. A star on top will complete all the scenery.
This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me.
This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me.